Hey, what's up? Well, I'm back again, back with another video. And as a result, Monday is actually my favorite day of the week for the simple reason that I get to make videos for the first time since the weekend, or whenever the last video of the week was. So this Monday, I got my hair done. Well, not Monday, but I got it done Saturday. So unfortunately, you can only see a little bit of the reddish color left, you know. Now I'm left with my dark roots to finish growing out. And so I guess I'll have to go back and see my mom, who will probably be happy to recolor my hair, though I don't know how it will turn out. Not liking the guy look, so to speak, not liking the fact that if my voice were about an octave lower, I could almost pass from here on up. Not really liking that, okay? But unfortunately, this is the stage that I have to go through in order to just have a simply short haircut. You know, if it were up to me, if I could choose any way for my hair to look permanently, I'd probably pick something like around, like about what Justin Bieber looked like around 2009. And my hair would just stay like that forever. But unfortunately, hair grows, and if I got it done like that, well, it would quickly become long hair. So I just cut it short, you know, every few months. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to find somewhere else to get our hair done once we move to the new house. So I love the thought of moving, but I hate the thought of having to reestablish so many different things. Okay. Well, there's just so many things I could talk about in this video. And, you know, just, I want to talk about, I want to continue on with this theme that I've been talking about, you know, since I'm kind of on a roll here with this obsession with vomit. You know, it's just like all my obsessions. I bounce back and forth between one bodily function and another. And I just want to title this video, Bring Back the Puke Scenes, okay? And I want to say that I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in the Rugrats reboot, and I never will, okay? Because it just has nothing to offer me, okay? I actually, as much as I didn't think I would like the Big Nate series, I actually like something about that better than the Rugrats reboot. And it's the puking episode. Oh my gosh, that was so freaking awesome. I might link it below. So I love it when Nate puked all over the place. You know, just totally awesome. The only way it could be better is, of course, if the characters had little boys' voices instead of a man. Or if he would somehow change the frequency to sound like a little boy on a computer. But just love vomit scenes. And what I'd like to talk about is just how mad, how infuriating it is that I hate the way they are so discreet about vomit in most cartoons, okay? Now, yes, there are exceptions, you know, like Chucky loses his glasses being my favorite exception, but generally, cartoons just don't get very graphic about puke. And it just really makes me mad because it's like, you know, when it's live action, you know, when it's real people, you know, they will go to such great lengths to literally make it as realistic as possible. You know, they do everything but give the actor ipecac syrup and make them actually throw up. One of my favorite puke scenes of all times was Problem Child 2, where they puke on the ride because Junior's mad and he speeds it up. And I just love that. But of course you can tell that it's fake. You can tell that what they did was they tape a hose with fake puke in it to one side of their face, and then they have them open their mouth as it's coming out, and they only take it from the other side. And, you know, then of course there's a spit take, but they can't throw up as much. But it's just awesome, you know, the way that they can make vomit look so realistic in live action. But then when it comes to cartoons, it's like, why? Why do they have to be so discreet about it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like they always want to do it off screen, or, you know, have them puking in a trash can or something where you can't see anything. And that's how it tends to be. And of course, that's why the exceptions to that are memorable. you know, it would just be, it's just, because in the cartoon world, I mean, you can violate the laws of physics. I mean, you can have someone vomiting 10 times their body weight, you know, in a cartoon, but yet, yeah, they just always want to be discreet about it, and that just kind of makes me mad. Because it's like, why? You know, why don't they just be as graphic and disgusting as possible? You know? I mean, I can remember like rewinding Chucky loses his glasses over and over and over again. And my mom was like, that's enough of that throwing up stuff. And I asked my dad, like, why don't you like this? You're a guy. You should like disgusting things. I mean, he loves to fart, which I don't. And he's like, ew, I don't want to see somebody throwing up. I'm like, it's just a cartoon character. He's like, I don't care. It's disgusting. I'm like, what? What's the matter with him? So, you know, I would not mind one bit if they were more graphic with puke. I mean, I would much rather see the most graphic puke scene in the world than to have a character with two moms or two dads. You know what I'm saying? Because vomiting is actually normal. And I'm trying to move the chair. For some reason, I can't seem to sit any higher. So, you know, it just really makes me mad that they want to be so discreet about bodily functions, yet talk about their sexuality now. You know, to me, you know, I mean, that's what you should be more graphic about, is the normal, natural stuff. So, yeah, I just really wish they would bring back the puke scenes. And as long as the Rugrats reboot doesn't have anything graphic like that, I mean, I've pretty much written it off. You know, I have no interest in it whatsoever, and I don't have to justify that. I don't have to justify why I feel the way I do. You know, if I just don't like it because it's a cartoon, you know, I have that right. I reserve the right not to like it. And, you know, as I stated before, I'm not convinced that any of the characters were ever potty trained, you know, to my level. And, of course, what I mean by that is I'm gas trained. You know, I will only ever fart on the toilet, never my clothes. You know, I mean, that's the main thing. You know, I've spent my whole life, you know, it's been nothing but, you know, basically harm reduction is the title of my life. Just trying to mitigate the harm to my clothing in particular. You know, that's why I'm so concerned about how we're going to move my clothing from this apartment to our new house. Just always trying to reduce the harm to my clothing. I don't like to get dirty. You know, I like to wear nice clothes and jewelry and all that. And that's one of the reasons I didn't like sports growing up. But, you know, I mean, even if you could take out every mention of the Rugrats and their bodily functions, you know, delete every scene and delete it from my mind, that's the hard part. Just remove any and all mention of the Rugrats and their bodily function. It still wouldn't be a wholesome cartoon. Like, let's pretend it were as wholesome as Rocket Power, okay? Where they never actually, well, they certainly are not overt about it. They never actually say that they crapped their pants, but, you know, I don't believe they never did. You know, I mean, Reggie would be the least likely to crap her pants because she's a girl. But even then, I wouldn't put it past her because, I mean, she wants to be one of the guys. So, you know, like, even if Rugrats were, let's just pretend they were as wholesome as Rocket Power. You know, we could turn back time and make them have as little to say about their bodily functions as a kid on Rocket Power. It's still, you know, I would still have the right not to wear it on my clothing and not to want to be associated with it and not to watch the reboot. Because, you know, I am gas trained, as I've stated before. I will not fart in my clothing. And unless and until you can prove that a character, you know, is at that level of toilet training, and even then, even if you could, you know, even if you could prove that a character's undergarments were as clean as mine at the end of every episode, I still wouldn't wear them on my clothing. So, you know, I have the right to feel the way I do. And I have no use for the reboot, but I'm loving the cooler weather, and I'm looking forward to the move.